Okay, hold on a second. Alright, so I promised I was going to start doing a little bit of videos about my past and kind of what brought me to the situation that I'm in. It's such a long story, I don't even know where to start, but I want you guys to know that I've been through a lot, and that I'm for real. I don't know why anyone would make this shit up anyway, but it is what it is. I've either been incarcerated or on the run from jail since 2012. I've got quite a bit of felonies on my record now in Virginia, and they're all drug related. 5 years behind bars, 3 years on the run. A bunch of stuff has happened in the intervening years. But I think there's a few points in time where I can really look at these situations and be like, these were major turning points in my life, and these were kind of times where I was faced with a decision and made probably the worst one that I could, and each bad decision led to another crossroads where I again chose the greater of two evils, as it were. But I think one of those points in time was in 2006. Someone who's a very, very dear friend of mine, she passed away from an overdose. And, that concept was kind of foreign to me up until then. I didn't know really a whole lot about opiates, and that's not to say I didn't know about drugs. I have been using drugs, period, since 1999 when I was 14 years old. I dropped out of high school. My last completed grade was the 8th. I never made it through the 9th. I spent 4 years in high school, all 4 in the 9th grade, because I would drop out in the middle of the year every year. But fast forward back to where we were, 2006, this friend had passed away, and I gotta say, I was in love with her more so than anyone I've ever met in my life, and it's not a feeling that I've ever had with anyone since. That might not necessarily be true, but I think that you love different people in different ways, and the love that I had for her was special in such a ways to where it's never really been like that with any other girl that I've dated, and seeing her in that casket, I've only cried a couple times since then, and fucking call me whatever you want. Call me a little bitch, call me a fucking an emo kid, whatever. I used to cry a lot when I was fucking younger. Like, I did. That kind of shut me down, dude. I started to dissociate from life after that, and that's the year that I was introduced to Oxycontin. You can imagine me trying to numb all that pain away. I had been playing music for years. I've been in bands that have done small little tours. I don't even want to say tours, but like a couple consecutive road dates, and I've put out albums. I've run a venue before, underground house venue, but venue nonetheless. And you can also look that up on YouTube. If you look up Nero as the Arsonist, on YouTube, you'll see a couple videos of a band playing in what looks like a graffiti covered, you know, garage or basement. That is us. That is my band. I'll be the shirtless one with the long hair. And there's some videos of quite a few other excellent bands playing at that house as well. Shout out to Iron Wolf, you know, good friends of ours that used to play with us there. Battle Master. God, so many bands. I mean, we did that place for so long. And, you know, that really started in 2006. So it was like, I'm faced with this decision, right? Like, I have this great thing that I can do with my life, music, my number one passion. I love to play guitar. I love it. And on the other hand, I'm introduced to Oxycontin this year, right? So it's like I can do something productive, right? And do music and feed all this distress and depression, anxiety, anger, hatred, all these feelings that I had at the time, and channel them into music. And I did, but I was using the whole time. And for 4 years, I don't know. For a couple of years, I continued to use heavier and heavier. The using started to overtake the music. It got to a point where other members of the band were using. We finally decided to break it off. You know, and the music was gone at that point, right? So like I've been trying to keep these two things both in my life, the drugs and the music, and one of them was taken away from me, you know, right? Circumstances outside my control. I can't force the guys to stay in the band, right? So 2010 and 11, I guess, were another turning point, right? 2010, 11, you know, that time frame is kind of when my last band broke up, Nero. After my friend died, who, by the way, I don't even know if I've mentioned her name. It was Tiffany. After she passed, I started dating a girl who shall remain nameless, because I know that she wouldn't, you know, want me to publicize her name. We're not on good terms anymore. And you know, her and I were together also for that whole same time frame. You know, through the Oxy use and the music stuff and Blast House and all that. And then, you know, as Nero broke up, we did as well. And I felt like I had nothing left at that point, right? Like everything that I loved and cared about was being taken away from me. My best friend in the world, my music, the girl that I was in this, you know, years-long relationship with that I really thought that I was going to marry and spend the rest of my life with. I turned wholeheartedly to the drugs at that point. I don't know, I mean, how else to describe it. They say Oxycontin's a painkiller, right? Like heroin, opiates, all that stuff. It's painkillers, right? And when you think of a painkiller, you think of something that kills the physical pain, right? It kind of helps you bear the unbearable so that you can get through your day. Well, it does the same thing for emotional pain, and that's something I think a lot of people don't realize. You're completely numb to the world around you. And excuse me, I just woke up and I just smoked a cigarette. So I dove headfirst in that lifestyle. 2011 is the first time in my life that I used a needle, and I mean, like there are direct correlations that we can see here, right? Like 2006, I started to use OxyContin. Years later, the rest of everything that I tried to build up in my life because I couldn't set that aside fell apart, right? So 2011 is the first time that I used a needle, right? I'm introduced to needles, Dilaudid, heroin use, IV, basically anything I can get my hands on, and that ties into, you know, me starting to go to jail and fuck up. And like I said, man, since 2012, I've either been in jail or on the run from jail the entire time. April 29th of this year was when I was released from my last bid, and this is the first time in my life that I've been off probation since 2012. I was on probation most of my teenage years, right? Like, you know, and this is all very new to me, right? Like the not having to run, the not having to hide who I am, the being able to be open and have people accept me for who I am. There's so many things that went on in my life that made me just want to run away and to get away. And I think I said this yesterday, but I was running from myself. I wasn't running from anybody else, right? I'm trying to run from the pain, but the thing that I don't realize at that age, right? The thing that I don't realize when I'm doing this is that wherever I go, I'm right there, right? So, yeah, I can run for a little while, right? But I'm still right there with me, right? Wherever you go, you take you with you. So I didn't escape shit. I just I showed the people that cared about me that I didn't care about them, and that wasn't the case. I just didn't know how to deal with stuff, man. And I don't think that I was as open with people as I should have been. I don't think that I talked to people as much as I should have. I don't think I was as proactive about a lot of things as I should have been. I mean, you're looking at a guy that at one point in his life was really living like, you know, what his dream was. Like, I wanted to be big in the underground music scene, right? I wanted to be a guy that was known for that and for running that venue and for putting out albums and for providing people with like a safe place to be, to hang out and have fun and you know, watch good music. And I had a full-time job, you know, that I really loved. Didn't pay the best, but it was a good job. The people there were great. It was a fantastic work environment, and they were willing to work with me on my my stuff I did, you know, outside of work, the music. They gave me off for my shows. They gave me off to record. They gave me off for anything that I needed, music related. They helped me with it. They let us practice in the warehouse when we didn't have a place to practice at. Right, and I had a girl that I loved that lived with me, and we were together for some years, and you know, I thought that I had everything I wanted, and you know, maybe I didn't, I don't know, but I thought I was living my dream, right? And I lost everything. I'm rebuilding my life from scratch right now. This house that you see around me isn't mine. A friend took me in and gave me an opportunity to get back on my feet. When I got here to this house, after kind of wandering around Manassas a few months, being released this last time, my possessions could fit in 2 garbage bags. I had a little bit of clothes and a few odds and ends and my acoustic guitar, and that's it, dude. There was a long road ahead of me, right? Like, I had nothing when I got here, but I'm making a lot of progress, and I just want you guys to know, for someone that's lost everything and thought he had nothing and has been through all the things that I've been through, you know, there's always going to be hope, and there's always a way out. You just have to find it. And if you need help finding a program or whatever it is, reach out to someone, reach out to me. My Facebook page is linked to the YouTube channel, and you know, you can message me there, and I'll gladly look into whatever, you know, I can for you. I don't want to see anyone suffer the way that I did. When I got into jail this last time, I did the drug program in Prince William County Jail, and if any of you are ever locked up in Manassas, Virginia, my hometown, go do the drug dorm program. It is great. They will help you. It's a good program. But I told my therapist when I sat down for intake, you know, hey, look, my goal is to be able to use these experiences to help other people. That's it. And you know, I'm really trying to hold true to that. Like, I've been through so much and I've come so far, and I know that things, you know, they can only go up from here, because that's the only way that I'm gonna let them go. But I also know that if things don't go the way that I want, that, you know, I never have to get discouraged, because I have people that care about me and I have a support network. And even failing that, even if I didn't have anyone, I know that there's a lot of places out there that want to see people like us succeed. So just never give up hope. You know, this video's going on way longer than I had planned for it to. And I could talk about, you know, this stuff all day. The 2 years that I was out on the streets in DC were the worst, and you know, we're gonna get there, and we're gonna talk about that stuff too. And you know, tune in for that if you guys really want to hear some horror stories. And I don't say these things to glorify. I say these things because I want you guys to know that I've really been through the trenches, and the fact that I'm able to stand here right now and to do this video and to talk to you guys like this, it's a flat out miracle that I'm here. I've had several occasions where I've been shot at, I've been stabbed almost to death, I've overdosed, you know, I've been through it all, man. Cars that have flipped over on the roof because the person that was driving was you know, nodding out at the wheel. It's a lot, but I'm still here because I'm a fucking survivor, and there's nothing in this world that can make me bend my knee anymore, right? Like, it's not gonna happen. I love you guys, and I hope everyone out there has a great day, a great week, and I hope that if you are having trouble with something, you reach out to someone, especially in these quarantine times that we're going through now. A lot of people are struggling with mental health. Relapse and overdose rates are up. But, you know, make a phone call, make a video call, text somebody, Facebook, whatever, but reach out. My name's Keith, an addict. My name's Keith, and I'm an addict. Thanks for letting me share. I gotta get to this coffee while it's still hot.